Welcome to Little How Comics. This is the Playbook Merge series where I merge a DC and a Marvel character together. As we take a look at the playbooks from Mask, the New Generation, a tabletop role-playing game about teenage superheroes. In this video, we'll look at the Janus with Mosquito, alias Wayne Gordon, a merge of Barbara Gordon's Batgirl from DC and Spider-Gwen from Marvel. The Janus is all about the superhero work and the alter ego life balance and the struggles that come from it. Spider Man is usually used as the example because he is always struggling with the balance and nothing ever seems to go right for him. But Superman also has an element of this with his love lives, his works. It's just his player is rolling far better than Spider Man's. Super Spider from Super Ride Rita Legacy would be an obvious choice, but I really wanted to merge these two, and I'm trying to go for less obvious choices after birthday. The Janus Extra is obligations. The Janus has up to 3 obligations. For Gwen Gordon, it's obvious that she has a godfather since both parts of her do. George Gordon probably has a pretty good relationship with other superheroes, mainly American Bat, sometimes works with Super Spider. But he believes Mosquito is a villain who killed one of his daughter's friends. He may be the person who pointed Birthday, Fun and Question, and Hypena in Mosquito's direction. After the misunderstanding that she's not a supervillain, they recruit her into the team. The two other obligations can be schoolwork and the punk rock band. The schoolwork being more Barbara Gordon and the punk band being more Spider-Gwen. It does not fit perfectly into a high school stereotype, which could make her ask, who is she? In the same way she's asking that as Mosquito, the Janus's core drama. This extra comes with a when time passes move. See how well you're balancing your obligations with superheroing. As a GM that likes to prep, I find these ridiculously easy to prep for. This role only has 3 possible outcomes, and there's at most 3 obligations. So it seems like you need notes for 9 different possibilities, but you only have 6 different possibilities. What happens if the obligation is happy with them, and what happens if the obligation is not happy with them? And then you mix and match depending on their role and the player's choices within the role. Find it even easier to prep this after you prepped the rest of the session. Link the opportunities or advantages into stuff the players are going to be doing anyway. And the same with the problems or the downsides. These should be benefits or complications to what you already have planned, so they're easy to slot in and out depending on how the role goes, and your plot does not fall apart with or without certain aspects. Janus is one of the few playbooks with a required playbook move, the Mask. The move is about the player assigning a label to their superhero identity. The options are between danger, freak, savior, and superior. And Barbara Gordon's Batgirl origin is portrayed as she's a Batman fangirl who decided to cosplay and stop some crime. Which plays into freak as in Mosquito and Batgirl are an escapism from the normal mundane life. She enjoys that freedom from all the pressure that's being put on her from her obligations. With Spider-Gwen, she plays into freak or danger for being seen as the villain that killed her Peter. With Mosquito, I am wanting to lean more freak, so having her be more abnormal than other heroes and villains. I am going to have her vampire coded. She is a power lease, and by drinking some of other super beings' blood, so you can absorb some of their abilities. This means even superheroes and supervillains who have powers can look at her as a freak and a monster. No, of course you can't drink my blood. The bulk of this move is about switching the labels between mundane and the mass label to allow the player to adjust their stats before rolling. Thematically, it would be Mosquito taking off her mask to comfort a scared child, or it could be Gwen Gordon writing a song about being haunted. It's about playing into the other identity when you're not in that identity. The other part of this move is that you get experience points for revealing your identity to someone who doesn't already know it. This mechanically encourages the players to have those character moments where they reveal themselves to their friends or their family, or perhaps a villain. And the GM principles are bring the obligations to bear, endanger someone from either life, make their lives cross over, put more obligations on them, take away their mask. The main takeaway that you can get from these is that you're pressing them with their obligations and making demands on them from the mundane side of their life. But there is a risk that comes with that. There is a danger for punishing players for playing their playbook or playing the game. When the choice becomes take part in the game or upset these NPCs that you have a bond with, or disappoint these NPCs and everything that your character's meant to be about, and actually take part in the game. There's too much, and you need to rein it in a bit. Instead of Gwen Gordon missing her gig, she's going to be late for it. The longer this battle takes, the more late she's going to be, so she wants to wrap up this battle pretty quickly. For this, I may have some sort of clock mechanic, so the player can see the time ticking down, or on a miss, when I take a GM hard move, I flash to the gig and how time is moving along there. Endangering someone from either life is a trope for a reason. And to me, endangering someone from either life is a trope for a reason. It's great motivation to point the players towards your prep, if you have any. And GMs have been doing this since the 80s. But this has its own risks too. The damsel in distress. You do not want your Princess Peach being kidnapped every session. You do not want Princess Peach to be kidnapped and then she's in another castle at the end of every session. That will annoy and frustrate your players, and they will not like this NPC. You need to give the players a chance to like and bond with these characters. Even if the PCs aren't fond of them, you want the players to at least have an emotional connection to them. Jameson is a terrible boss, and Peter Parker does not like working for him. But he's an enjoyable character to read about. His enthusiasm and passion about stopping that nuisance Spider-Man is delicious, and we can love to hate him or just love him. And if you find that your players are not getting a connection with an NPC, it is okay to ask them, hey, this NPC doesn't seem to be going the way I wanted them to go. They seem a bit more annoying than I intended. And you think that I can do with them to make them more appealing to you and your character? And the answer might be, no, I like them the way it is. And if that happens, trust your players. Imposter syndrome is a thing. Lois Lane is a stereotypical example of the damsel in distress. which I didn't get as a girl because I grew up in the 90s where Lois Lane was not like other girls because she kicked ass and was extremely driven and could do her job just as good, if not better, than the men when they were actively fighting against the stereotype of Lois Lane being a damsel in distress. So do that. Maybe not go that hard because that is definitely very 90s feminism hard. But we have the cop, George Gordon, doing his job in dangerous situations. There is ample opportunity for him to need to be rescued by the doctor in the mask. And third point, have them not always need help. Let George be good at his job half of the time. Have him tell stories of the stuff that he did manage to do without superhero help. Have him investigate things and the heroes need his help finding out information. Have him saving the team once in a while. Making the lights cross over is one of my favourite bits of superhero mythology. You have Bane the Hunter teaming up with George Gordon to capture Mosquito. After a long day, George invites his new friend home for the game. There, Gwen Gordon has awkward small talk with the man who just tried to hunt her down all day. It's fantastic. Taking away their mask is putting the risk that someone is finding out their secret identity. This could come with situations where the mask isn't handy or helpful, like the scare kid, or literally someone discovering her secret identity. You know the scenes where the superhero is still in their costume and having a conversation with someone in another room as they're getting changed, and the person is coming closer and closer to the door. As I'm enjoying looking at these characters as an existing comic line, I see Mosquito blown up the same way Spider Gwen was everywhere and everyone. I feel like the comic company might just want her as a recurring character and then die saving her father in a dramatic way. Perhaps she appeared in American Bat and Super Spider as a minor inconvenience. And that's when George Gordon reached out to the team, unable to get a hold of the adult superheroes, and sent them after Mosquito. But the fans adored this character. She ends up with her own series, being a member of the American Bats extended family, joining the team with Buddy, Fun and Question, and Hypena, as well as a team-up book with Super Spiderita, creating a female friendship like Power Girl and Huntress, or Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown, except the writers let us keep this. Later they will start their all-girl team, Bugs of Prey. This overplays her in the superhero world as well as the Janus is being overworked in the mundane world, which has nothing to do with masks and just me having fun. As usual, hope this helps or inspires. You may have noticed the video is not over. Here's the thing, the art takes as long as it takes. We could figure out how to speed it up and give everybody Caesars, or I could figure out how to slow it down and make it extremely boring to watch. So the art takes as long as it takes. The information is what I need to give you as a resource. I am not going to pad it with useless stuff. I am not going to leave out things that I think are important. But with 2 full minutes to fill, time to address the most important thing in masks shipping. Just looking at the canon, the Babs Dick and Miles Gwen, we have a potential love triangle between Birthday Mosquito and Super Spider Eater. So maybe the comic line is playing up the love triangle to see how the shippers react. Who are the fans rooting for? Maybe I am hinting for you to comment who to make canon. Or whether we should leave it as will they, won't they with both of them. Or if there's any other ships that you think would be cool.